Hello, it's Molly Reamer with Bridget's Grove and 30 Days of Goddess. And I wanted to offer a note of encouragement when it comes to daily practice, when it comes to 30 Days of Goddess, when it comes to continuing to show up for yourself. So good job continuing to show up for yourself in whatever way you have been. I hope that as you continue to do so, you will discover that the sacred shows up too. And I hope you will also remember that the ways of keeping your promise, there's many ways of keeping your promise, and it is powerful to do so. So even if your practices are very small and subtle and simple, you are doing great. You are wonderful, you are magical, you are powerful, you are brave, you are strong, and you are here. So thank you for taking time. And so the note of encouragement or the reminders that I wanted to offer, this is things that I've written before, but I felt like speaking them out might be more helpful than reading, a wall of text. I am a writer, and so I have a tendency to deliver a lot of things in writing, and I've realized over the last year to 18 months that sometimes things simply are better in video. And so I'm moving some of the things that I would normally say into a video form instead. So this might seem familiar to you, and that is fine. I hope you still find it encouraging. So one of the things I wanted to mention is that 30 Days of Goddess is intended to be a gentle container for daily practice, a container for you to live and love and learn from, not a challenge to perform or a task for your to-do list. That means that if you miss a day, then even though keeping the promise is so powerful, if you miss a day, no problem. You just start again the next day. Really, like there's no, that the thing I see that, sabotages people most often is the feeling that if I skip a day, that means I can't start again. That means I failed. And so skipping one day leads to skipping 2 days, leads to skipping 3 days, leads to skipping a week, 2 weeks, etc. The only thing you accomplish by continuing to skip is that you're still not making a room for that practice that will nourish and sustain you, and that will return you to center, and that will presence you in the moment, in the sacred, that will deepen your connection with the goddess. That's what you're missing by continuing to skip days. So skipping a day in and of itself is just like, it's grant yourself grace. Like that's your moment to grant yourself grace and to move on, to begin again. We can always begin again. And but the other thing I wish to remind you of, and I know I say this so often that sometimes I worry that people think that I don't encourage big, fancy magic and elaborate rituals. I have various ritual kits, and I love celebrating the Wheel of the Year holidays with my family and setting up an altar and singing and doing retreats with people and having women's circles and having red tents and things like that. But I keep bringing us back to the simple, the small, and the sacred, because that is what is sustainable. The big magic is really important and really powerful and really sustaining as well. But what we need in the everyday is the small, the simple, the soft, and the sacred. And so anyway, there are very, very simple, very tiny ways to stay involved and to stay committed. That can be the act of putting your hand on your heart and stating the name of the goddess aloud, or even silently to yourself. If you work with a specific goddess, you may wish to speak her name, or you may wish to just say goddess. Or if a broader conception speaks to you, you might say source or universe, or a broad concept like peace or love or grace. So love guide me, or grace hold me, or peace fill me, or goddess guide me, etc. So that can be the practice, the hand on your heart and the speaking the name of the goddess aloud, day in and day out. If that is your practice, something will happen. You will feel something, you will see something, you will learn something, you will know something, you will have something to trust. And then the other things, and I've said it before, but I'm still saying it again, there's no failure, there's no behind, and there's no right way. If you don't want to write prayers, then reading a prayer out loud from Whole and Holy, the Goddess Devotional, or from any other spiritual book that you like, it's a perfectly wonderful practice. Copying down a favorite line into your prayer book can be really great. Using one of the prayer cards that I make available reading one of those out loud, gluing one of those down in your prayer book, setting one by your computer, or keeping it in your pocket, or making it into a bookmark. That can be really powerful and simple. And these can be a simple and sacred moment in your busy day. I know people have busy lives and busy days, and a lot that calls at us for attention. There's a lot that needs our attention at any one time, and I really feel like 30 Days of Goddess is about reclaiming some of that attention for our inner lives, for our spirits, for our souls, for our connection. That's part of what it's about, is reclaiming some part of our attention for ourselves. And also, though, please do not consider this experience an academic one or something to perform. Welcome it as a living experience of connection, an invitation into the sacredness already present in your life, an invitation into the sacredness already present in your life. 30 Days of Goddess is larger, deeper, and more full of possibility than only 1 week, 1 month, and it is much, much broader than a one and done challenge. I really look at 30 Days of Goddess as a metaphor or a shorthand for a daily goddess-centered practice of some kind, of any kind, for devotion, for walking a goddess-based life, a goddess-based path throughout your life. And so it's kind of a metaphor for something bigger. It's a process, it's an experience, it's an offering, and it's a movement in and of itself, a movement on behalf of small sacredness and everyday wonder of daily practice, and of honoring the magic we carry within and the magic present in our world in every day. And so if you can choose to have a weekly practice instead of daily, you can have, a Sunday morning practice. If it takes you 30 days, or if it takes you 6 months to fill out one 30 days book, then so be it. That's fine. Your practice is yours. May it nourish and sustain you. And so yeah, there's lots of possibilities. There's lots of opportunities. The invitation is to make space for the sacred and for yourself in your own life, whatever that looks like. And keeping it small, keeping it simple, keeping it sacred, keeping it sustainable, and keeping it nourishing to you. So may you settle in and listen. May you settle in and know. May you tap into the fire. May you tap into the flow. May you touch the heart of wonder. May you steep it long and slow. May you fall in love with living. May you feel your magic grow. Thank you so much for being here, and keep up the good work.